Hey y'all, it's Kosta. I help people break the system to build a better future. Today we're talking about elder abuse. So I own a home health care agency in Tennessee, and I've worked in long-term care for almost 10 years. And during that time, I've become familiar with many of the common causes and ways to identify elder abuse. These are the steps I believe everyone should take to help ensure our elderly are protected. So let's start off. What is elder abuse? Elder abuse is a blanket term used to describe 6 different types of deficiencies in care. Typically, elder abuse is characterized in one of these ways. First is physical abuse. That's getting angry, hitting, or inflicting physical harm on purpose. Most of the time, this is someone lashing out due to frustration. Second is emotional or psychological abuse. So that can look like someone speaking derogatory or taking away freedoms, diminishing self-worth, verbally or any other type of verbal abuse. Third is sexual abuse. That's an unwanted sexual contact or unsolicited sexual activity between a person providing care and receiving care, or anyone that's entering the home of an elderly person. The fourth is general neglect. That's the general unwillingness or deliberate disregard to meet someone's needs or provide adequate care. The fifth and the most common is financial exploitation. That's using someone's money for your own personal use or using them to obtain loans. Sixth, and the last one, is healthcare fraud abuse. So that's being paid for a service you're asked to provide and then going and not providing it while still keeping the money. So most of you probably want to know, how often does this happen? So it's like this. Every year, elder abuse affects up to 5 million Americans, and financial exploitation is estimated to cost seniors at least $36.5 billion. 1 in 10 over the age of 60 have experienced some form of elder abuse. And in 60% of cases, the person who commits the abuse is a family member. 2/3 are adult children or spouses, and only 1 in 24 cases are reported to authorities. Why is this common and prevalent? So the main reason is that systems aren't in place to support our aging population. People's lives are complicated and busy, and the requirements of caring for a loved one is a full-time job, which leaves little time for anything else. Medicaid, the primary payer for nursing homes and long-term care services, are low, and the staffing ratios only require 1 staff to care for up to 18 patients at a time. All of this leads to immense forms of frustration, stress, burnout, and poor decision-making. So what are some of the common examples of elder abuse? If you mirror this to childcare, you don't leave a child unattended when they can't navigate their environment safely, or if they aren't familiar with their environment. They don't have the cognitive function to be left alone safely. The same is true with elderly. If they are physically disabled and required to stay in a room until you're ready to care for them, or if they have dementia and confined to one area of the home unless you're home, this all impedes on the quality of life and adds to their potential of developing depression in a socially isolated setting. You take your child with you wherever you go until they are old enough. Why do our elderly not receive the same degree of respect? Consider transferring a 200-pound person from bed to wheelchair. Imagine the physical strength necessary to complete this. Without proper training, falls are likely to occur. Injury to the person and the caregiver are common. You believe it's the best you can do, but the person suffers at the hand of someone who doesn't have the skills and training necessary to care for this individual. A CDC study reports that physical abuse and injury has increased 75% from 2002 to 2016 because people don't know how to properly care for the aging population. Financial exploitation occurs when someone assumes the elderly person's money is also their money. This occurs frequently in the care of the individual, but imagine if you had to give up your autonomy because you are dependent on the person or entity caring for you. You lose control of your liberties and are left in an isolated state with no money, no resources, and no freedom. So guys, it's a complex issue, and more importantly, the financial reimbursement, competency training, and resources aren't available to properly care for seniors. Because of this, the people who provide this type of care, whether in a facility or in their own home, are bound to fall into making poor decisions on behalf of the people they serve. If you see elder abuse, you need to report it. The frequency of reporting and more situations being recognized as a problem by people in power, the easier we can bring it to the forefront, helping lawmakers and authorities address these issues on a state and federal level.